قال علي بن أبي طالب رضي الله عنه وأرضاه: أعظم الناس أجرا في المصحف أبو بكر رحمة الله على أبي بكر، وهو أول من جمع كتاب الله.
الحمد لله الذي نصر السنة بأهل السنة، والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. There's a misconception amongst some, or maybe many Muslims and many non-Muslims, that the Qur'an in the form of a book, as they say, codex, as they say, in book form, this task was first accomplished by Abu Bakr as-Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu. No, sorry. People believe it was first accomplished by Uthman ibn Affan radhiyallahu anhu. This is incorrect. The truth is, the Qur'an went through three main stages, as the scholars say. Stage number one, at the time of the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam, the Sahaba used to write down the Qur'an by the instruction of the Prophet himself alayhi salatu wassalam. The Prophet instructed them, and the Prophet appointed scribes, i.e. people who were entrusted with the task of writing down the revelation, the wahi, the Qur'an. طبعا, from a theological point of view, what is very interesting, the Prophet never made a tahdid, he never limited this task to a specific person or his specific clan. His clan is Bani Hashim. Bani Hashim is from Quraysh, or basically all the natives of Mecca were Qurayshis, but they had sub-clans, so a major tribe and clans. And the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is famously from Bani Hashim. The Prophet did not entrust this task to only Bani Hashim. Forget about entrusting it only to Ali bin Abi Talib, no matter how old he was, even when he was older. No, he entrusted it to a fallible human being, because the deen is transmitted by Sahaba and the students from day one, as you can see. And amongst those who were scribes was, for example, Muawiyah ibn Abi Sufyan radhiyallahu anhu. Historical facts. So this stage number one, where they used to write on whatever they could find, whatever that is religious, pure, according to the Sharia, tahir, on skin, animal skin, halal animal skin, bones, and even stones. I've just seen lately a video, I think it was from Mecca or Medina, a very old inscription by a Sahabi or a Tabi'i, where the Fatiha is written down exactly the way we read it. Probably not the exact same script, but according to the rasm, exactly how we read it. And so the Sahaba used to write it down, and some Sahaba used to have own mushafs with some surahs, part of surahs, and so on and so forth. Nobody really had the whole Qur'an, obviously. So this was stage one. At stage two, at the stage of Abu Bakr, and this is very important. Abu Bakr radhiyallahu anhu, subhanAllah, look at the Sahaba. Look, tyrants never do shura. Tyrants never care about shura, about consulting other people. Never. The Sahaba, the righteous Sahaba, pious Sahaba, Abu Bakr from day one consulted the likes of Ali bin Abi Talib and other Sahaba. Included Ali bin Abi Talib and his shura. Same with Umar, and so on and so forth. وَأَمْرُهُمْ شُورَى بَيْنَهُمْ. It's from the Qur'an. And there's another verse, وَشَاوِرْهُمْ فِي الْأَمْرِ. This is primarily directed at the Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. So the Prophet, undoubtedly infallible, he's a Prophet, wahi comes on him, but even he used to consult his Sahaba. So Abu Bakr consulted the Sahaba after their Ridda wars, the wars of apostasy as they call it, where the true believers that are the Sahaba fought the Murtaddun, and yet the extremists want to tell us that the Sahaba who fought the Murtaddun at the Ridda wars are the Murtaddun.
حديث ارتد الناس والصحابة إلا ثلاث، هذا موجود وحديث صحيح في روايات شيعية.
ارتد الناس بعد رسول الله إلا ثلاثة. اون ثلاثه شد به اندازه مثلا 500 میلیون تقیه این کار را کرد. و الا اگر از هم اول به سب و طعن و فلان اینها مشغول می شدیم کجا زیاد می شد.
أبا عبد الله السلام يقول إن النبي صلى الله عليه وآله لما قبض ارتد الناس على أعقابهم كفار إلا ثلاث: سلمان والمقداد وأبو ذر الغفاري. ارتد الناس إلا ثلاث. شنو معناه؟ الناس جميعا ارتدوا عن هذه الولاية وتلكم الإمامة ولم يفهموا حقيقتها إلا ثلاث. طبعا هو الكفر بعينه.
ورد في الحديث عن الإمام الباقر عليه السلام أنه قال: بني الإسلام على 5: على الصلاة والزكاة والحج والصوم والولاية. ثم قال الإمام عليه السلام لزرارة: وما نودي بشيء كما نودي بالولاية.
ومن ثبت على عدم الإقرار بالولاية كأبي بكر وعمر على رؤوسهم وعائشة وهؤلاء، والله أخوتي هذا الإيمان إيماننا كفار، هؤلاء كفار
والعياذ بالله are the apostates, all except 3 or 4 according to their narrations. And some of them come, watering it down. They say, oh, some of them came back, and it doesn't mean this is just kufr in wilaya. No, wilaya is the biggest, most important khurafa and pillar in the deen. So they disbelieved in a pillar more important than tawheed even.
المقصود الارتداد اللي حدث بعد وفاة الرسول، الارتداد عن ولاية أمير المؤمنين عليه الصلاة والسلام، وليس الارتداد عن أصل الدين بالدخول إلى الكفر يعني. ولو هو في الواقع لا يفرق واقعا، ولكن في الظاهر يبقى مسلم، ولو إذا في الواقع يكون منافق أو كافر.
بعد ذلك بدأت الناس تفهم تلكم الحقيقة وبدأوا يلتحقون بعلي عليه السلام ويؤمنون بعلي عليه السلام، فتكونت تلكم تكونوا الأصحاب تكون لعلي عليه السلام، والمخلصون وإن كانوا قلة بدأوا يحوفون حول علي عليه السلام.
So anyways, when at the time of Abu Bakr in the Ridda wars, many Qur'an back then was the term for Huffaz. Back then they used to say Qur'an, the reciters. They were known, they were Huffaz. Many Sahaba who were Huffaz, Qur'an, they were martyred in these battles and the Ridda wars. May Allah be pleased with them and have mercy on them. So Abu Bakr consulted other Sahaba, and the story is well known. At the beginning he was reluctant. In fact, he was against it. for his love of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, no, Rasulullah didn't make it in a book form, we don't need to make it in a book form. Umar radiallahu anhu convinced him and other Sahaba. Finally, Abu Bakr agreed that this is a good step to do what? To the Qur'an that was on the tongues anyway and memorized anyway, as a form of help, because that's what it is. A mushaf is not an absolute necessity in Islam. It's not. Our tradition is the oral tradition, from Senegal to Indonesia and the Philippines. We memorize the Qur'an to this very day. That's our tradition. As a book form, as a mushaf, it's a help. So Abu Bakr agreed to it and formed a panel committee of a group of major Sahaba radiallahu anhum. Ali was consulted as well. Zayd ibn Thabit was the main Qari, Hafiq. He was entrusted with the task to compile the whole Qur'an and all its forms of recitation in one book. The story is long, and anybody who wants to, the hadith is well known in Bukhari and in Muslim. This happened in the time of Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. This mushaf then was kept with Abu Bakr, and after Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, with Umar radiallahu anhu, and after Umar it was with Hafsa radiallahu anha. The third stage is the stage of Uthman radiallahu anhu. That's the final stage. At this stage, there's a famous hadith, a long hadith. I don't want to read it now. You can look it up. It's the hadith of Hudhayfa ibn al-Yaman. Uthman did all of this just like Abu Bakr by consulting the Sahaba, especially the major Sahaba, Muhajirun and Ansar. That's why the scholars say, إن من أعظم مفاخير عثمان رضي الله عنه ومن أفضل أعماله في خلافته هو جمعه للقرآن الكريم. The scholars say إن من أعظم مفاخير عثمان, from the greatest of the matters that Uthman can be proud in, he can be proud in, رضي الله عنه, and from his best deeds in his khilafah is his gathering, the compiling of the Qur'an according to one book and one rasm, which I'm going to explain later. Rasm. Al-Hafidh ibn Hajar al-Asqalani says Uthman did what he did with regards to compiling the Qur'an according to one rasm after consulting the Sahaba, with the agreement of the Sahaba. قال القرطبي في تفسيره, Imam Qurtubi says, وكان هذا من عثمان رضي الله عنه بعد أن جمع المهاجرين والأنصار. Uthman did this, the gathering, compiling the mushaf according to one rasm, with Zayd ibn Thabit and a panel of Sahaba, major Sahaba. He did this after consulting, هذا من عثمان بعد أن جمع, gathering the Muhajirin and Ansar. Those very same Muhajirin and Ansar that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Qur'an, بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم والسابقون الأولون من المهاجرين والأنصار والذين اتبعوهم بإحسان رضي الله عنهم ورضوا عنه. These great men, Uthman gathered, consulted with, and there's no disagreement amongst the people of Islam, Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah, even some of the Mubtadi'ah, except the most extreme, that are the Rafidah. There's no disagreement that nobody rebuked Uthman for that, except the Rafidah, which you will see inshallah. And now, most importantly, we have narrations from none other, Ali bin Abi Talib. Let's listen, let's take our deen from Ali bin Abi Talib. Let's be true Alawis in the lughatan and the linguistic sense, not in the sense of being zanadiqa, heretics. Ali bin Abi Talib says, عن علي رضي الله عنه لما اختلف الناس في القرآن, when the people differed regarding the Qur'an, and this had reached Uthman, he then gathered us, the companions, Sahaba. You see, Ali bin Abi Talib views himself in a category which is the Sahaba, the best human beings after the prophets. The Sahaba of any prophet. Oh, there were some prophets whose Sahaba apostatized. Some prophets come Yawm al-Qiyamah with no Sahaba. What are you talking about? This is the last final messenger. He has the best family, Ahlul Bayt, including the best wives. So don't compare his wives with some kafir wives that were doomed in dunya before akhirah. Nuh and Lut's wife. And don't compare Ashabul Mustafa alayhi salatu wassalam with the companions of any other prophet, not even with Ulul Azm, not even with Jesus Christ's companions. So here Ali bin Abi Talib says, Uthman gathered us, the Sahaba of the Messenger of Allah alayhi salatu wassalam, and he consulted us. Look how beautiful. Look how Uthman is following the Sunnah. Uthman gathered the Sahaba. Ali says, Uthman consulted with the Sahaba. Ali says, about what? And he consulted us about uniting the people on one reading. So our opinion was the same as his. Ali then continued, if I was given the authority which he, i.e. Uthman radhiyallahu anhu, was given, I would have done as he did. Beautiful, wala beautiful. Beautiful. طبعا in Kitab al-Musahif by Ibn Abi Dawood, who was criticized by scholars, but justice has to be done. There is a Sahih chain of narration. It's a Sahih chain of narration. It's authentically reported. And that's not it. There's different versions, clearer. Ali bin Abi Talib said, لا تقول في عثمان إلا خيرا إلا خيرا. Ali says, رضي الله عنه, Ali says, O people, do not exaggerate. Now the enemies, they will cut this out. Oh, do not exaggerate. Probably the Sunnis back then were exaggerating, worshipping Uthman. Oh no, listen, nobody crawls towards the shrine of Uthman. Well, there has another shrine. That's the modest, Islamic, flattened, leveled grave of Uthman. Just like the grave of the rest of the Ahlul Bayt and the wives. That's Islam. This is like a Zoroastrian palace. That resembles a Zoroastrian palace, not a modest Muslim grave. Okay? So no, when Ali says do not exaggerate with Uthman, it doesn't mean that people back then were crawling towards his grave saying, Ya Uthman, madad, 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 help us, rescue us in their dua, in their worship. They didn't lick his grave, kissed his grave, and so on and so forth. No, Ahlul Sunnah are not known for this. So Ali, when he says, oh people, do not exaggerate with regards to Uthman, he's not talking about people who were overpraising or something. He says, oh people, do not exaggerate with regards to Uthman and do not say anything but good regarding him. Context is absolutely clear. There were people like the Rafida today who have the audacity to criticize Sahaba 24/7 with a microscope going finding here, there, mistake. For the normal Muslim, look, for the asl in Islam is for the average Muslim brother, you have to look over 70 excuses. That's not a hadith. Whatever, this is a principle in Islam. Hurts no dhan. You think good about your brother. The average Muslim brother. In here and now in the 21st century. So what about Sahaba? So Ali bin Abi Talib says, do not say anything about him except good. Because people not probably, it's obvious from the context, there were people, whether deviants or whether people upon the truth, but who had a wrong opinion about Uthman with regards to what he did, uniting people upon one mushaf and get one reading and getting rid of the other readings. Ali continues, with regards to the masahif, plural of mushaf, codex, book. With regards to the masahif, i.e. his act of copying the manuscripts and burning others, whatever he did not do it except after consulting with us. With us, the Sahaba radiallahu anhu. What is it that I hear man speaking of these modes of recitation, citing theirs as better than others? Look, Ali's not a Rafidi. Ali doesn't disagree that there's modes of recitation, as some translate it. I don't believe there's a good translation. It should be kept to ahruf. Ali is talking about the ahruf. He's not denying them, but he's saying, what is it that people are claiming mine is better than yours? That was the whole fitna back then. This statement can lead one to disbelieve. Kufr. We asked him, what solution do you devise? He said, gather the people on one manuscript, one rasm, exactly what Uthman did, radiallahu anhu, thereby quelling the disagreements and differences. We applauded his opinion. The people then said we applauded Ali's opinion. Ali's opinion is Uthman's opinion. Uthman consulted Ali. And you see how the Rafida, how the deen, they always claim intellect and that they are researchers and they look at history unbiased. Wallahi, they're the furthest people away from aql, from a sane, sound, logical mind and intellect, and the furthest people away from reading history in an unbiased way. Why? Because if Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman were tyrants, or which tyrant includes someone who he removed from the throne, i.e. Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman, according to the Rafida, are usurpers. Yet they included Ali in their shuras. Does this make sense? And Uthman and Abu Bakr included Ali in the shura with regards to the Qur'an. What to do? And Uthman did the same, and Ali willingly participated in all these shuras. Because they were brothers upon the same deen. There's another narration where Ali says, "O people, do not exaggerate with regards to Uthman and do not say anything but good regarding him. With regards to the Musahif and the burning the Musahif, whatever he did not do it except after consulting with us." So that's the reality. Uthman radiallahu anhu was a just ruler. He wasn't infallible. He has his faults, like every other ruler, but he was a just ruler from the Rashidun. And because of this, no one refuted, rebuked, criticized Uthman for what he did, except the Rafida today, who, as you can see, they are not the true followers of Ali bin Abi Talib. They are not. If someone says, "Oh, these narrations are from your book, they are not hujjah for us," in academia, you bring narrations as a hujjah to your opponents. We don't care about their religion. This is a proof for this ummah. The ummah is over 90% Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah. The ummah wants to know what was Ali's position towards Ahruf, for example, and towards the man, more than one man, Abu Bakr and Uthman, who gathered the Qur'an. What was his position? What about Uthman getting rid of other manuscripts, burning them? The ummah wants to know this. Yes, these are hujjah on us, and what beautiful hujjaj these are. What beautiful divine evidences these are for us, not against us, for us. This is our Ali. We have Ali. We believe in Ali. We follow Ali. This is how Ali sanctified, agreed with the deeds of Uthman radiallahu anhu. Another beautiful narration that says, I heard Ali saying, "May Allah have mercy on Uthman." SubhanAllah, just like he said about Abu Bakr. If I was the ruler, I would have done the same as Uthman with regards to the Masahif copies of the Qur'an. So what can we extract? Abu Bakr, from Abu Bakr's time till Uthman's time, they were not tyrants. They consulted the major Sahaba, Muhajirin Ansar, including Ali. Ali praised Abu Bakr for what Abu Bakr did, collecting all the Masahif. And of course, Ali even was with Abu Bakr in the Ridda Wars. Ali even took a concubine from the Ridda Wars. There's another topic. And In Uthman's time, same thing again. Uthman is not a tyrant. He consults Ali bin Abi Talib and the other Sahaba, Muhajirin and Ansar. Ali praises him. Ali does not just praise Uthman, you know. His silence would be enough. Wallahi, if we did not have these narrations, the silence of Ali bin Abi Talib would be enough. We don't have narrations from every Sahabi praising Uthman for what he did. His silence would be enough. Ali openly defended Uthman. Ali said, what is this? Huh? You guys criticizing Uthman for what? For getting rid, burning these mushaf? There's nothing wrong with it. If I was in his position, I would do the same thing. Huh? What we extract as well, Ali never spoke against the concept of ahruf as the Rafida, and we'll get to that, and their books where they claim that there's no such a thing as ahruf, plural of harf, as they say, modes of recitation. Ali wasn't against this. Ali was against the fitna that people were arguing and claiming that my recitation is better than yours, the ahruf I choose, and so on. This is what Ali was against. Other than that, Ali was with the Sahaba, with the Mu'minun. The Sahaba are the Mu'minun, and Ali is minhum, from them. طيب. Now, there's something I wanted to show you. Check this website. This is just one example. This is just one example in Arabic. These Adnab al-Furs al-Majus. In Farsi, in Persian, you find hundreds of articles by these mu'ammimin, ama'im al-shaytan, by these fake turban heads, these turban heads of shaytan, not the beautiful turban of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and the Sahaba. These turban heads of shaytan, how they, on thousands of articles and in the lectures, attack Uthman radiallahu anhu and oppose Ali bin Abi Talib, whilst claiming to be upon mazhab-i Ahl Bayt, Alawis, Ja'faris, Imamis, followers of Ahl al-Bayt. On numerous thousand websites, they say, oh, Uthman burned manuscripts, oh, Uthman burned the Qur'an, oh, look what he did, kufr, is burning the Qur'an allowed? We'll get to that, but just look at this. Here, one of the, wallahi, this website, these people who run this website have zero shame. And yeah, I think our project 12shia.net has, I think, more than a dozen articles of them, exposed them for their lies, mistranslations, and so on and so forth. And other websites have exposed them and refuted them and debunked them as well, more than once. They used to be called Answering Ansar, yeah. And since 3 years they're called Shia Pen. So anyway, look at what these Zanadiqa say. Look, Uthman shall be called to account on the day of judgment for the sin of burning the Qur'an. Allahu Akbar. Allahu Akbar. Oh, what is the powerful source? You know what they always say? Sunni references. طيب. We read in Ahli Sunnah leading work. Kanz al-Ummal, or as the Shubairi, he likes to criticize us, for when we make mistakes speaking Arabic in public, He himself can't say Kanz al-Ummal.
Like Kanzul Ammal. He thought that Kanzul Ammal was a Shia book.
Hey boy, I'm looking for a book. Which book?
Kanzul Ammal. So this guy is obviously a clown.
Kanzul Ammal. So in Kanzul Ammal, volume 11, page 193. Quickly, Kanzul Ammal is not even a secondary source for Ahlul Sunnah. It was written around 1,000 years, after Hijrah, by an Indian scholar. May Allah have mercy on him. And it's just a compilation of tons of various narrations. Yeah, you can say it's one of the weakest sources you can cite. Yet look at that. Sunni sources. Anyway, look what it says. Jabir narrates that Rasulullah said, On day of judgment, the Qur'an, the mosque and the progeny will come. The Qur'an shall state, "O Allah, the people set fire to me and shred me." The mosque shall state, "I was left in a state of disrepair." The family of the Prophet shall state, "O Allah, we were expelled from our homes, terrorized and killed." Well, طبعا, this is a fabrication. This is not an authentic narration. Kanzul Ummal. Look how desperate these people are. And then look at this. Look how evil they are. Look how they want to make takfir on Uthman. The scholars say Uthman killed 2 of the daughters of the Prophet ﷺ. Look what the evil religion. They say, oh, the likes of Yasir Khabith and other of the scholars say, so what, Uthman was given 2 daughters of the Prophet. Yeah, he killed the first and he killed the second. It was a test. And then look at this. Fatwa of Ahl-i Sunnah. One who disrespects the Quran is a kafir. Some Ahl-i Sunnah have issued fatwas that is disrespectful to burn the Quran. And look at these jahala, hamqa, plural of ahmaq. They don't even know that, based on context, of course. 2 scenarios. If anybody would burn the Quran out of hatred, that's kufr, of course. Like when the kafir guy comes on YouTube, they come and burn it. That's kufr. They do it out of hatred. And it's haram and it's kufr, of course. But if you burn the Quran, and look, I will get to it. I will get to that, guys. I'll get to it so you can see. I showed you the screens from that website. Yeah, here, look. The Salaf Madhab deem it permissible to set fire to the Quran, as this the Sunnah of Uthman. Ahl-i Sunnah appraisal of the Quran, burning Uthman is tantamount to kufr. Some Ahl-i Sunnah have issued fatwas that is disrespectful to burn the Quran. Fatwa of Ahl-i Sunnah, one who disrespects the Quran is a kafir. Uthman shall be called to account on day of La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. May Allah deal with these zanadiqa. Wallahi, these people have no shame. So, what about this burning of the Quran? Quran was not burned by Uthman. First of all, look at these juhal. You don't burn the Quran. You can't burn the Quran. It's called mushaf, ya juhal. This is a mushaf, copy of the Quran. Nobody can go. Burning Quran, aslan this kalam is kufr. I burned the Quran. The Quran. What do you mean you burned the Quran? Kalamullah, nobody can burn it. So the Quran was not burned by Uthman. Quran refers to the text memorized by the heart. This we call in Arabic يا جاهلين مصحف. هذا أولا. ثانيا, second. Back then they didn't have paper shredders. Back then there were no paper shredders available. So how would someone disintegrate, dispose respectfully the Quran? How? And these jahilin, they don't even think about that. They wait a second. So back then, let's say someone wrote Quran down, or even one of the imams, and something happened. There's something is spilled on it or whatever. How do you dispose it back then? Other than with fire or burying it or whatever, one way. Thirdly, back then they would simply light a fire and burn it. Not putting it there and with a machine gun or the sword going on it, shredding it and whatever. No, they would just burn it. Because back then nobody wanted that someone stabs on it and so on and so forth. They didn't want people to throw it in where people used to throw trash back then, rubbish, yeah? So they wanted to get rid of the sacredness of the Quran in a manner that is not intentionally disrespectful. That's really what it is. So you see these juhal who wrote this article and other Rafida, not just them, it's just copy-paste. They take it from the websites of Qum-e Muqaddase, Karbalo-e Muqaddas, and so on and so forth. They take it from these Hawzat, Al-Khawiyah. They take it from the accursed Hawzat, these articles, to attack Uthman. And they have this mindset that, Westerners as well, they have this mindset of burning religious scripture. Oh, that is like blasphemy, no? They don't. Even to non-Muslims, we say, no, it's not blasphemy. Even today, we say the best way to get rid, if it's a necessity, there's no other way. For example, a Qur'an torn apart. Let's say, I see it sometimes in masajid. Sometimes, rare, alhamdulillah. Sometimes a kid touched it, ripped it apart, or something happened. And then there's no point anymore. You can't fix it. The best way to get rid of it, respectfully, is by burning it. That's all it is. And they use, I mean, look at them. They use this to attack Uthman. They use this to attack Uthman. They say that Uthman is a kafir, a'udhu billah. They say. Then they bring they bring fatwa out of context from scholars who talked about when a kafir, or when someone is zindiq, a heretic with evil intention, goes and burns the Qur'an, and then they apply it on Uthman. What does this say to you? This is one of the most active Shia websites in the English-speaking world. This is the level of academia. Few more points about, so there's Rasm Uthmani. What is very important is, you see this mushaf, copy of the Qur'an, codex, in my house and your house. This is called Rasm al-Uthmani. You know, whenever the Rafida say, we have the same Qur'an as you, why do you accuse us of tahrif? Anyway, it's strawman, because Ahl Sunnah don't say that the Rafida have a different Qur'an. See, they strawman our argument. You know, you see, when the speakers come and say, look, here in Qom, we have the same one as you. Of course you have the same one. What? You want to print a new one? Different one? Ahl Sunnah say that the top scholars of the Rafida, a number of the top scholars, not any scholars, pillars of the madhab, from whom they took the deen from, the likes of Majlisi, the Kafir, and other than him. They believed in the distortion of the Qur'an by the Sahaba, verses, multiple verses removed, and so on and so forth. Inshallah, we'll make lectures about that as well. When they say we have the same Qur'an, yes, we know we have the same Qur'an. The argument of Ahl Sunnah is that they believe this Qur'an is naqis, deficient. They believe this Qur'an is deficient. In one way or another, some of the scholars are more open, like this Zindiq here.
عثمان آمد این ترکیبا رو همینجا به هم زد به خاطر اهداف سیاسی خودش که داشت، اون چیزهایی که قبایحشان که بیان شده بود اونها رو بپوشانه، اینا رو آمد با هم چید. مثلا سوره آیه‌ای که درباره اهل بیت علیهم السلام تفسیر پنجتن پاک رو آورد در وسط آیاتی که درباره ازواج قرار داد. این کار عثمان.
And other than him, they hold the similar beliefs, but they're not as open about it. All of them in one way or another believe in tahrif. All of them. It's enough that all of them believe that the orders even of the verses are not in correct order. Not the surahs, the order of the verses. That's kufr. Would you believe, trust your akhirah in a book where the verses are out of place? I wouldn't trust in a cookbook that when somebody says to me, well, you know, some information, you know, words have been misplaced. Well, I wouldn't buy that. I wouldn't trust my food. I wouldn't eat my food. I wouldn't trust my diet based on such a cookbook. So who trusts his akhirah on a book where the verses are misplaced by the evil Sahaba, as the Rafida claim? You see what the evil religion it is? The hadaf, they say love of Ahl Bayt, or no, we just criticize Sahaba. The hadaf is to attack Islam from within, to fight Islam in the name of Islam. Beautiful for them, beautiful for shaitan. Fight Islam with a sweet slogan in the name of Ahl Bayt. That's what they do. So anyway, this mushaf, every mushaf you open at the beginning somewhere you can read Rasm Uthmani. رغم أنوف الرافضة. This Qur'an, and their Qur'an that they hold, they have to read Rasm Uthmani. Imagine what a religion. According to their religion, Uthman is many of the scholars say that, not many of the scholars, all of the scholars say that whoever calls himself, refers to himself as Amir al-Mu'mineen, is a maf'ul. Is a maf'ul, na'abun, a'udhu billah. Is a passive homosexual and kafir. That's why according to them, all khulafa are passive homosexuals, waliyadu billah. It's not just the Shirazis say that, the Shirazis, Yasir Khabith, they say it openly. The other ones believe it, they do taqiyya. We know this. So they believe that the likes of Uthman radiallahu anhu are passive homosexual kafir usurpers, waliyadu billah, astaghfirullah. Naqal al-kufr laysa bi kafir. The one who transmits, narrates kufr, it's not a kafir. I'm repeating what these zanadiqa say, these heretics, for the sake of education, to warn against them. So what kind of deen is this, where the mushaf that you're holding in your hand was compiled by a cursed usurper? Kafir? Passive homosexual? Is this the deen you're inviting to? And you want us to leave Islam, Tawheed, Ahlul Sunnah, our Ali bin Abi Talib for your Persianized Majusi, Khurafi, Zindiq type of Ali bin Abi Talib? The fake one? How can somebody believe in their religion? Alhamdulillah for our religion. So every mushaf in the world, it's called Rasm Uthman. Rasm Uthmani. The Rasm Uthmani, as the scholars say, refers to the way the Sahaba have written the Quranic text in the time of Uthman. As he insisted in the case of dispute to use the words of the language of the Quraysh. It is also known as Arabic skeleton script because it doesn't have the tashkil. No tashkil, no harakat, no tanweens, and so on and so forth. This is the pride of Ahlul Sunnah. Ahlul Sunnah, all sciences. Now I'm going to come to that and then we conclude it, inshallah. The dilemma for the Rafida is they didn't care about the Qur'an. And don't get me wrong, it's not about their or the top maraja of them who can't read the Qur'an. Uqsimu billahi al-azim. Every non-Arabic speaking Muslim boy in East, West, North, South London, in the UK and elsewhere in the non-Arabic speaking world, especially here where we are, knows better tajweed after a few months than their top ayatollahs. Exceptions prove the rule. When they bring one turban hat who suddenly knows tajweed, exceptionally. So what? That proves the point. Exceptions prove the point. Nobody says they don't have Qur'an at all. Nobody can. The asl with them is that they can't read. I prove this in my article. I link it, inshallah, you will see it. You can read it, inshallah, where Khamenei confesses that Ahlul Sunnah superior with all the sciences, with regards to all sciences of the Qur'an. Khamenei himself. Check the link, inshallah. But the dilemma for them is they didn't care about the Qur'an. Some of them claim that, this mushaf actually is narrated by Shias. This is khurafat. I will put links there as well. This is a big lie, and the more learned ones amongst them, amongst the Rafida, know this. They know the narrators that they claim are Shias. All of them are prototype Sunnis, according to them. Zaydi type, political Shias, Sunnis. None of them. They are not Imamis. Al-Khu'i, the teacher of Sistani, 21st Sistani, the leader, one of the top maraja, top ayatollahs of the 21st century. His teacher is Al-Khu'i, Abu Qasim Al-Khu'i. Khu'i weakened all the narrators of all the Qurra of the different forms of recitation. He weakened all of them in his book Al-Bayan. Now all of them are weak. This is their top muhaddith, mashallah. Well, what a religion. Qur'an and Itra, mashallah. The Rafida, they never had a collective effort to preserve the Qur'an. The Imams that they claim that they follow the Imams, which none of them, the 12th one doesn't exist at all, and the 11 Imams were from Ahlul Sunnah. They lived in the lands of Ahlul Sunnah, married with Ahlul Sunnah, and passed away in the land of Ahlul Sunnah. They never narrated a Qur'an with the Ahl Bayt chain only, not to their so-called students, to the modern day 12ers today. No such a thing. So no, there's no collective effort in preserving the Qur'an. Because they claim that the real Qur'an was compiled by Ali. Khurafa. No historian, no person with self-respect and knowledge about this issue would claim such a thing. No books, not a single book of Qira'ah, not a single book from Qira'ah comes from the early Shia. Shia Imamites. When I say Shia, well, the Imamites. From them, who they believe that Zaydis and Ismailis and Waqifis, all of them are kuffar in reality according to them. At the very least in Akhirah. Are all deviants. None of the early Qurra, reciters of the Quran, who were Imamites, 12ers. None of them. Oh, mashallah. What effort 12ism has done. And then, Quranic sciences. Oh, I already mentioned the article that I wrote on Shias scans, where Khamenei confesses, admits, he says, Ahlul Sunnah superior. All these sciences. From Tajweed, Ulum al-Quran, and Tafsir, and Hifz. The asl is, the default is Ahlul Sunnah superior. And it's true. The Shias have nothing Nothing on Qur'anic sciences. That's why, I'll give you an example. I went to an Islamic bookshop in the famous Dar Mecca in Birmingham. Probably bigger than many bookshops in many Arab countries, Muslim countries. You should go there. Massive, like a football field. Or at least it feels like. They had a section about ulum al-Qur'an, science of the Qur'an, tajweed, and so on and so forth. Every book, all books, all in a sense of, I mean, like by classical scholars, without exception, the classical ones anyway, by Ahlus Sunnah. Ahlus Sunnah are Ahlul Qur'an wa khasati. Ahlus Sunnah are the people of Qur'an. Not just the beautiful tajweed that Ahlus Sunnah is without a shred of doubt superior than these Valazolin folks. Not just tajweed, tilawa and qira'a, from hifz, from tafsir. We don't have batini tafsir. Wattini wa zaytun and Hassan and Hussein and other khurafat. From tafsir, all ulum al-Qur'an. Ahlus Sunnah. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala preserved the Qur'an through asbab. Through asbab. For means. Well, you know, now the Zanadra will cut this out and say, oh, you see, we reach Allah through means. No, that's different. Because Allah said in the Qur'an, call upon me, I will answer you. Commands, after commands in the Qur'an, to call upon Allah alone. As with regards to His book, Allah sent it to mankind and the Sahaba and the Salaf, fallible people. However, the Ummah does not agree on what? Batil. Prophet said this, alayhi salatu wasalam. His Ummah will not agree on Batil. So, the Shia, the Imamites, have nothing on Quranic sciences. And when I say all, I mean everything. I mean everything from tajweed, rasm, the wuquf, tajweed, everything you know about the Quran, everything. You go to a teacher, hafiz, someone with a chain, back to the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. My own teachers. I studied tajweed in Jordan. Everybody's from Ahlus Sunnah. The Rafida haven't done anything with this to this regards. And the worst thing is, not that they just haven't done anything, they have fabricated blatant lies to the Ahlul Bayt, and which they pride themselves with, you know, and their bias. When I say they, wallahi, I wish the layman Shias nothing but guidance, nothing but khair in this dunya and in akhirah. Guidance. We're not enemies. We don't wish the Shias evil. Oh, human beings. We don't wish nobody evil. We wish everybody good and khair. But those evil ones that I showed you the website, and those others who made up, fabricated what I'm going to show you now, these people, I mean, look at the bias, look at the grudge, look at the hatred, look at this. It says, لأبي عبد الله جعفر الصادق عليه السلام إن الناس يقولون إن القرآن نزل على 7 أحرف فقال كذبوا أعداء الله ولكنه نزل على حرف واحد من عند الواحد. So here one alleged companion of Ja'far al-Sadiq went to him and says, these people, the Sunnis, they say the Quran was revealed in 7 ahruf. 7, as they translated modes of recitation. What do you say about this? Ja'far al-Sadiq says, what do they say? He said, كَذَبُوا أَعْدَاءُ اللَّهِ MashaAllah. And then they talk about takfiri and whatnot. كَذَبُوا أَعْدَاءُ اللَّهِ, he says. They attribute to him. They lie, the enemies of Allah. The enemies of Allah. He refers to Ahlul Sunnah. It's a lie. Ja'far al-Sadiq was a Sunni. He's a khurafat. That's a principle that you should memorize. Between 80 and 90% of their lies and khurafat, whole their deen is attributed to Ja'far al-Sadiq and his father al-Bakr. Yani to Ja'far ibn Muhammad al-Sadiq and Muhammad ibn Ali al-Bakr. These two. Over 80 to 90% of their lies are attributed to these both men who are as innocent of these lies and of Rafidism as Jesus Christ alayhi salam is innocent of the Nasara and the priests and the church. So look, here apparently, allegedly, Ja'far al-Sadiq says, كَذَبُوا They have lied. أَعْدَاءُ اللَّهِ The enemies of Allah have lied. The Qur'an was revealed in one harf. Something completely against historical fact. Wallah, show this to one in academia, to a researcher, even to non-Muslims. They will laugh at this. What do you mean? It's you can say whatever you want about the ahruf, and there's discussions about it. It is something established. There's more than one harf. And as I've proven, Ali bin Abi Talib, and as I've proven, Ali bin Abi Talib, our Ali, was with the Sahaba. With the Sahaba. Praised the Sahaba. Praised Abu Bakr for governing the Qur'an, and then Uthman to make it in the final unified standardized version, al-Rasm al-Uthmani. Ali was pleased with it. We are pleased with Ali. Ali was pleased with Uthman, and we are pleased with Uthman. More importantly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was pleased with them. Radiyallahu anhum wa radu an. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.